Hi, Stango. Stango, you got to get rid of that thing behind you.
Saranziki, what do you mean? This thing did a lot of good things for me this weekend. Look at it.
You got second place, not just at any tournament, but fucking EVO with that like $14,000 pop bonus or whatever the hell it was.
I can't say that there really is many other accomplishments that a platform fighter player can be more proud of achieving than getting a top 8 at EVO.
Mm-hmm.
Because any fighting game player, that's
a dream.
It's the most prestigious fighting game tournament in the world, period.
If we could get you sponsored, right? We could get Stango sponsored. Would you do all those things? Would you stream every day? Would you try to make YouTube videos? Would you practice every day and aim to get first at all these events or top 8 at all these events? Or is it something where you're like, look, man, I've got my partner and I've grown as a person and I have another part of my career that I want to focus on, and I'm just coming to these events to have fun and try my best?
To kind of, in a long-winded way, answer your question, if I were to wake up tomorrow and an organization could tell me, hey, you know, what we need from you, videos, content, you know, getting things where we can get, you know, a good end out of this deal, and we will get you to events and you don't have to worry about what you need at events or getting to events.
Yeah.
You just need to play. It wouldn't even be a question. It would be one of the most miraculous things you would ever see.
I think Stango's big thing, right? If anybody's listening out there, or if anybody can send out that message, is Stango is a charismatic person. While at the same time, not everybody is going to love Stango. In my time of knowing him, not everybody seemingly likes the jokes, but in a sense, that makes the people who do enjoy Stango's company all the more dedicated to supporting him. At the same time, we've seen you be charismatic in ways that, like how you performed at EVO and how you played the stage. You physically did the Krag and Zetterburn joke. You did the sweeping joke. These are the signs of somebody who can, to be honest, show personality and get clips. These clips are important for these marketing, especially these brandings, because of course of what they're going to represent and stay in the community as clips that will be continually shared. To any sponsor out there, there is a lot of amazing Rivals players. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Stango is the only great candidate. There's tons of fucking incredible Rivals players who should be getting some support in the near future. But Stango right now, and given his legacy and prevalence, not to mention what he's probably going to do in the next few tournaments, Stango is someone who's going to give you that crowd work, that attention, and he is almost certainly going to bring that money back. I think we're going to need a while until we see more sponsors, but hopefully people can start to see that if they're going to invest in somebody, they're going to need someone at your level. And I think the only thing we want to do is start to see someone like Stango make more videos / streaming, those kind of things, to show that he's not just waiting for the sponsor, but that you can do it even if a sponsor's not, you know, backing you. Because that's often like they don't want to pay you to stream. You should just be already streaming and showing how dedicated those viewers are. I know you started doing coaching and you have been streaming quite a bit, but I think if it becomes a little bit more consistent streaming, I think that could be very helpful. How would you answer that? About what advice do you have for reducing the amount of days where you're not in the right headspace to practice seriously?
So it all really depends on what your ultimate goals are when it comes to competing and such. The nature of the question kind of leads me to believe that like you are trying to compete to improve and get good at the game. So honestly, my biggest opinion would be, if you're in a situation where you're not getting fulfillment and joy out of practicing and grinding, you have to kind of take a step back. And the reason why is that when you make a thing like competing a job, you have to have a certain output and attitude towards it. Otherwise, you're going to start building up resentment and disdain to maintain being good at that job. You know, for example, when you talk to people that complain that they don't like where they work or what they do, I think more often than not, a lot of people, and this is just from my experience of just, you know, kind of being in the working force for a long time. A lot of people that complain about their job in kind of more of an excessive manner, I feel like generally aren't like the most, let's just say, the best employee. And I don't mean like, you know, kind of sucking up to a corporation and stuff like that. I'm talking about being an expert in what they do, making themselves valuable so they can gain opportunity to move up or do something greater than what they're currently doing. The way that I've always kind of seen it when it comes to having a work ethic towards something is that your goal should be to become a master of what you are, and then learn and obtain new skills to move on to the next thing. And that's how it works for me for competing. When it comes to me, when I'm learning, I'm having the most fun. When I feel like I'm stagnant on not really learning anything or applying new ideas, I stop practicing as much. So it's about kind of finding the motivation of what's fun for you. If you're having a tough time practicing, you kind of need to identify like what works for you to keep you engaged. Figure out the core thing that makes it worthwhile for you to compete. Because the thing that engages you and makes you happy about competing is what will motivate you to be practiced. Because then you're going to be like, well, I want to be practiced because I want to do cool combos and clips and like show it to my friends and make combo videos.
Any suggestions for people who take longer to learn something? I have trouble seeing my own progress over a good period of time and feel like I run into the wall, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing for taking a long time to learn, that's not really an issue per se in terms of like you need to be better at learning quicker, because learning is all subjective on how you interpret and receive information in an efficient way. You know, some people are visual learners, some people are hands-on, some people are like book learners, some people are, you know, kind of imitators and stuff like that. It's all really predicated on like what works most effectively for you. The most important thing when it comes to understanding your progression and what that looks like is to make sure when you are trying to improve that you're very goal oriented and the goals are something identifiable. So for example, when it comes to, let's say, a lot of your goals for improving, some people would think that a good goal to improve is like, instead of going like 1-2 at a tournament, I want to go 2-2. The problem with that is that that's a result that's based on the variance of a lot of other factors that lead to you going 2-2 and not 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
You're not actually learning anything or identifying things that make you more successful at being, you know, better at the game. Mm-hmm. You're just saying, I want my number to go higher.
Where do you want to go from here as far as like the game wise? Are you looking to be the next best player in the world?
I think honestly, my main goals that I really want to achieve is that I definitely want to get a tournament win. That's what matters a lot more to me nowadays. And I think that's really all I have set aside for myself, because like I said, the way it would really be for me is, you know, doing this full time in a normal capacity of just myself is just not really what I see. I would love to kind of do it as a full-time thing, which I've been blessed to do it this year.
Uh-huh.
But you know, I'm always going to be kind of playing things, whether it be at this, you know, 110% volume that I've been doing it at for this past year, and will continue to do so. I'll always be in the mix of things. So when something interests me and I want to challenge myself, you know, there's always going to be a game to do it, and I know that. My main Rivals 2 goal, definitely a tournament win. That's what we're looking for.
Why Rivals? Like, why not get into something like a Trad Fire or something like that, or even just stick more with PM?
And And when Rivals came along, you know, it kind of became an opportunity where it's like, okay, well, I honestly feel like that this is the best I've ever been, period, in terms of like playing Smash, like playing platform fighters. So I'm like, this game's gonna have money, it's gonna have people looking at it. Like, I wonder what this could look like as far as, you know, potentially trying it as a job. So it's kind of a opportunistic option that I really come to it with Rivals. You know, I'm kind of looking to make it something more than just a hobby. But you know, it all really depends on what opportunity is there. I just know that I definitely have the skills for it. It's just more about like making myself more well-rounded for when that opportunity comes. So, and you know, when it comes to PM, there really isn't anything like that because, you know, it's a modded game.
We had a lot of people talking about how strong Olympia's been feeling recently. Do you think we're going to see a nerf coming for her soon?
I think she'll almost certainly be nerfed. And it doesn't really bother me because I think it is deserved for sure. I think the way it works for me, I really don't mind if my characters ever get nerfed. Because there's always going to be a broken character down the road to play. And, you know, from my experience of how I've kind of gone through playing platform fighters, I just want to be able to do the things that I'm strong at with the strongest character that I can do it with. So if it's a circumstance where, you know, it's with Olympia or Raster or Rano, if I truly think that they complement the things that I like to do and they're strong, I'm just going to play them.
Yeah, of course. I guess
because like when it comes to Zetter like getting nerfed, I was just like, yeah, this sucks, but you know, I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. You know, he's not good now, so I'm just gonna play a different character and just have better results with it.
We saw you had a lot of people cheering you on right now at EVO. You know, how did that feel to get to see some of your like long-standing friends cheer you on at EVO? I know Shadowhawk was there, and you know, Ion and Orimori and a bunch of people like that. You know, you had a big amount of crowd cheering you on.
I don't know. It's something that I'm definitely very like happy about. It makes me feel good, because you know, kind of being entertaining in that way, you know, makes me smile. It feels good to want to be watched for, you know, whatever reason, whether it be like, wow, this guy's so good, or like he's so entertaining, or he's funny, or you know, he's handsome, or you know,
whoa, hold on,
he's got money. That last part's not true, but
well, Stango, you know, I know you're already heard it a bunch and you'll hear it again from me, but congratulations on getting second at EVO, man. I remember me and Shadowhawk were sitting there going, ah, fuck, man, he's gonna win EVO and we're gonna have to hear him bring it up every 15 fucking minutes. At the end of the day, it was a really beautiful moment. Top 8 was great, especially grand finals, and hey, man, you were the only person to take a game off of fucking Plup, so hell yeah, man.
Nothing's been more perfect than this kind of whole journey that I've been on throughout my entire life. I'm truly very blessed, and you know, the cultivation of, you know, being able to be a EVO finalist is really something that I'll never forget. It's truly one of the things I'm most proud of. Sounds great. Thank you.
Peace out, man, and good luck at Supernova.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Take care.